If you're a professional, a trusted advisor, somebody who provides services to clients, whether you're a coach, a consultant, a lawyer, an accountant, anybody who works in that kind of professional space, then ultimately, if you run your own practice, or even if actually you're employed in a firm, you really only have 3 jobs. Job number 1 is to win the business, job number 2 is to do the work, and job number 3 is to get paid. If you fail on any one of those 3 things, then you are of less value to your own practice, or indeed to the firm that you work for, than you really ought to be. So making sure that a percentage of your time is spent on all 3 of those things is essential. And if, like many of us, you find that your time is being dominated by doing the work rather than winning it or getting paid for it, then you really do need to look at your cadence of behaviours and your default calendar. Now, what do I mean by a default calendar? Really, I'm talking about the things that are set in stone within your weekly calendar. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Let's pretend you don't work Saturday and Sunday as well. I know for many people who are in that professional space, you do find yourself working at the weekend as well, but I'm just going to pretend that that doesn't happen for the purposes of this video. And if you're going to be running a default calendar, you just need to have certain things that must happen consistently and regularly in order for you to have a consistent deal flow. And specifically, I'm talking about business development or sales activities. It's all too easy to allow those sorts of activities to not happen when you're busy. The problem with that is that when the work dries up, it does so because you allowed those activities to drift or to simply get bounced down the road to a future date, whatever that future date might be. And very often is I'll do that next week becomes actually I'll do it the week after, I'll do it the week after, I'll do it the week after, and now, oh my goodness me, I've got no business left. So you're constantly working for your future self, and that means that you need to just have a little bit of something every single week to do with business development. Now, these should be behaviours that you can manage yourself on. It could be that you manage yourself on having at least one coffee meeting or one discovery meeting with at least one prospective client every single week. Maybe it's 2 clients, maybe it's 3 prospective clients. It really depends on your particular type of business and what kind of service you're providing, and really what the average value of a client is, what your conversion rate is, how many of these kind of coffees or discovery meetings do you have before somebody actually gives you an instruction. But that means that if you're going to have 1 or 2 or 3 discovery meetings or coffees with clients or prospective clients each week, then you also need to do some other behaviours that will lead you to get those meetings into your calendar. Those might be networking meetings, they might be activity on LinkedIn, doing LinkedIn posts, they might be asking for referrals from existing clients, talking to other people who might be able to give you an introduction to somebody, family, friends, etc., etc. Maybe, if you're feeling really bold, it might even be sending some kind of a cold contact to somebody who looks an awful lot like your next great client, somebody who shares characteristics with your current best client, your current ideal client. And this is important because not only will you start to get a sense of a reliable deal flow coming through, which gives you a greater degree of confidence about your own business and the fact that you're going to continue to be gainfully employed and remunerated on an ongoing basis, but also it gives you a real sense of growth potential, because it may well be that you get to a point where you've got more business than you can actually handle, and it's regular, reliable business. At which point you might well then start to expand your practice, and you might start to consider, well, what additional capacity do I need in order to be able to service these new clients that I'm acquiring? Do I need to employ somebody? Do I need to be more efficient in some of the things I'm doing? Are there better processes which will allow me to, I suppose, get more bang for my buck out of my own working hours? Are there systems I could be using? Is there, in this day and age, an AI tool that could actually help me to reduce my own personal workload, thereby staving off the day when I finally need to employ somebody? But certainly, you should always, always, always have some kind of a winning the business type of activity in every single week. And when you look at your calendar, you must resist the temptation to steal time from those meetings. You should treat those meetings in your diary a bit like you treat a red light at a busy junction or a busy intersection. When you are approaching that red light and there's lots of traffic whizzing back and forth, you are going to hit the brake. You will definitely categorically stop your car at that red light. There is no way you're not going to. With that same level of absolute certainty, cast in tablets of stone certainty, you must do your business development activities. Otherwise, your future self will not thank you for it, and your business potential and your growth potential will be radically stymied as a result of your own inactivity. Do not just concentrate on doing the work. As far as getting paid for the work at the other end is concerned, well, that's probably a subject that we can talk about in greater depth. Many people will outsource that to another department, whether it's a finance team or maybe it's your accountant or whoever it is that you use. But to some extent, you still need to set yourself up for success with getting paid by the way in which you set out your stall right from day one with any prospective new client, and how you talk to them about money. And I think there's probably another video to be talking about our money concept and the importance of showing up with absolute confidence that what you provide is not just of value, but actually you represent an investment for your client. You're never a cost, always an investment. And as with all investments, there is a return. And that return could come in the form of them achieving their goals, the outcomes that they want to achieve. It could come in the form of them resolving a problem in their business that's costing them time, effort, energy, money. Or it could simply come in the form of you making their lives easier in some way. So there you go. I commend it to you. Constant business development, sales activity, always. Manage those behaviours and your business will grow and it will take care of itself.